Hello and welcome to a weekend edition of Minimum Competence we're calling a maximum minimum competence episode. Essentially, time permitting and given a coming major legal story, we'll try to get you a bit more up to speed than we can in our short-form daily news show. This week, owing to today, November 19th, 2023, being the 160th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, we thought we'd have a brief segment on his seminal speech. On your mark, get set, go. On November 19th, a significant day in legal history, we commemorate Abraham Lincoln's delivery of the Gettysburg Address, a speech that, despite its brevity, profoundly impacted the nation and its future. Lincoln, born into humble origins, rose to become one of America's most influential presidents. His commitment to equality and unity was unwavering, characteristics that shone through in his iconic speech at Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. Interestingly, Lincoln wasn't the primary orator that day. Everett, a renowned speaker, was the main attraction, delivering a 2-hour speech on the battle's significance. In stark contrast, Lincoln's address comprised merely 10 sentences, spoken so swiftly that no photographs exist of him delivering it. This brevity, however, didn't diminish its impact. Lincoln's words at Gettysburg have an intriguing paradox. He speaks of the insignificance of his words in the grand scope of the event, yet the address itself has outlived the memory of the battle it commemorated. This humble admission reflects Lincoln's character and his understanding of his place in history. There are theories suggesting Lincoln may have drawn inspiration from Pericles' funeral oration, a notable speech from ancient Athens. While there are similarities, Lincoln's address, much like his leadership, has proven to be more enduring, especially over the past 160 years. This endurance speaks to the timelessness and universality of his message. Upon concluding his speech, Lincoln believed it to be a failure. He reportedly commented to a friend, "That speech won't scour," using a farming metaphor to express his disappointment. This initial assessment, however, was far from accurate. The speech's impact was not immediately apparent, but would grow in significance over time. Lincoln's speech, in its essence, redefined the American ideal. He reframed the Civil War as not just a struggle for the Union, but a fight for a new birth of freedom, ensuring that the nation's founding principle of equality would endure. This perspective shift was pivotal in American history. The Gettysburg Address also highlighted Lincoln's skill as a communicator. In just a few sentences, he encapsulated the grief, hope, and resolve of a nation at war with itself. His ability to convey profound ideas succinctly is a testament to his mastery of language and leadership. Despite its initial reception, the Gettysburg Address has become a cornerstone of American political rhetoric. It is a model of brevity and power, teaching generations the effectiveness of concise, heartfelt communication. Lincoln's words continue to resonate, reflecting the enduring values of democracy and human dignity. Lincoln's journey from a log cabin to the presidency is a narrative that underpins the American dream. His life story, marked by self-education and a steadfast commitment to his principles, continues to inspire. The Gettysburg Address is a reflection of this journey, embodying the ideals of perseverance and hope. In conclusion, the Gettysburg Address remains a seminal moment in legal and political history. On this day, we remember not just the words spoken, but the man behind them. Lincoln's commitment to equality and his humble origins are integral to understanding the enduring significance of his brief yet monumental speech at Gettysburg. The speech, delivered that day, reads as follows. 70 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave here the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. And with that, I thank you so much for listening to Minimum Competence and this MaxMin edition of Minimum Competence. Reviews go a long way towards helping new listeners to find our show. If you have a moment and can leave a rating or review on your podcast player, we'd sure appreciate it. And if you know someone that might be interested in a story we cover, consider sending them the episode. Minimum Competence is available at minimumcomp.com and wherever you get your finely crafted podcasts. If you haven't checked out the website in a while, give it a look. There are complete transcripts and resources for each episode and its corresponding segments, as well as an opportunity to receive new episodes in email newsletter form. Thank you once again for listening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for our usual daily news shows.